there, Candy Taylor here with Travel With Me. Today we're going to talk about birthdays. I recently had one. Not really wanting to say the number, but I will tell you that it begins with a 5 and it ends with oh good lord. And it's okay. I'll survive it. I'm doing okay with it. But on that day, I took the time. I was on Facebook and saw a little quiz. Looked at my age. It said it could guess your age according to your profile picture, and it said I was 19. I'll take it, but that's kind of why I did the little 19-year-old hairdo today. Kind of silly, huh? Anyway, so a little fun. I can say that probably the reason it picked 19 as the age, because in my profile picture I've got a big old smile and I'm just, happy. It was a happy moment when I took that picture, and that's why I kind of use it for my profile picture. But I do also like to thank genetics a little bit. Thanks, Mom. That's, for great genetics. Maybe I don't look my age, but, I'll let you guys decide. No harsh comments, though, okay? Remember to be nice. The other thing is I look at life. I get up each morning and I think about where I've been, where I am today, and where I'm going, and I have a lot to be grateful for. Over the few years that I've had a few birthdays, my family and friends are always so good to me, and we've always had a really good time. My children always make me feel special. But I will share with you one birthday in particular that I had. I had the opportunity to travel to go on a medical mission trip, and we were in Romania. That year, my interpreters found out it was my birthday, and they snuck around and got me a birthday cake and brought it in to the clinic, and we shared it with everybody, and they sang happy birthday to me, both in their language, their song, which is different than ours, and then they also sang it in English. It was very touching, very heartfelt. I was quite moved that they took the time to do that. And they shared with me how special they felt because I was there on my special day, on my birthday. I took my time away from my family to be with them. And I really appreciated the sentiment. It was very nice. Well, later that day, we also had a party. It was a little get-together party that one of the guys on the trip usually host each year, and it always has a theme, and this particular theme was Mardi Gras, and I would like to openly thank, big old shout out, big old Texas shout out to Mr. George Hobberson, who always hosts this party. He usually does a great job. Great guy. He had the party with a big Mardi Gras theme, and we had a great time that night. Well, on the way home, we walked, and it began to rain, and not just a little rain. We were drenched, and instead of letting it ruin our party, we found a place that was still opened, and we went and got something to eat. I had water dripping off my nose. It was that heavy of a rain, but instead of allowing it to ruin the night, we found something else to do. Instead of sitting outside, we found a place inside, and we moved it in. And that's something I would always suggest if you're traveling on vacation, to have some backup plans in case the weather doesn't cooperate with what you're trying to do that day. There's some great museums and different things for some inside travel. Just a little side note. But it was great. Just always remember that when it does rain, to take the time to dance in the rain, and remember that rainbows are on the other side. As far as health goes, when it comes to being this age, there are some things that you want to consider when you're traveling, especially long distances. Jet lag is probably the simplest thing that almost everybody with long traveling suffers from. I would say that the easiest thing to do, and what I've heard 100 people tell me, is make sure you drink plenty of fluids. Drink water. Nothing caffeinated. Just make sure you're getting plenty of water. And I hear people whine and say, well, I don't want to drink water, then I have to get up and go to the bathroom. Well, that's a good thing, because then you get up and move around. There's some complications, and I don't want to get into some medical advice, but you can have some issues with swelling in your legs, and even there are some people that are at risk for sitting still for very long periods of time of having blood clots. So getting up to go to the bathroom is kind of a good thing. Get up and move around and stretch a little bit. One of the things that I have found quite humorous is to look around at the airport when we all get off the plane after a long flight and see about half of us in shorts, and if you've ever heard of them, they're support hose, the big ugly white ones. Yeah, the real sexy group of people walking around with a big white hose on. So that's something that we do to prevent blood clots and to prevent leg swelling while traveling for long distances. I did have one trip where we got up and we're walking around. Now remember, walking around, you got to make sure that it's in a place where there's not turbulence. There's the stewardess is not telling you to remain in your seats. Follow the rules, be safe. But we had gotten up and stretched a little bit and even did yoga for a few minutes just to kind of keep the legs stretched out and the arms and back stretched out. And I probably felt better after that trip than any other trip I've ever been on, taking the time to do that little extra stretching. I would consult if you have any medical conditions. Make sure you consult with your primary care provider before traveling for long distances. They may even suggest some over-counter medications like a small aspirin or something. And again, I'm not giving out medical advice. I'm wanting you to consult with your primary care provider to make sure that your medical conditions are taken care of. If anything I've said here today has given you any value, I would love for you to share and like. You scroll on down towards the bottom, punch on those little like buttons, and then leave me a comment. If you have some comments or suggestions, feel free to leave some comments for me. Share your experiences. The other thing is, if you'd like to find out about how to travel at wholesale prices to some premier destinations, feel free to leave me a comment on my contact page. And if you kind of think that maybe you'd like to help other people and help share this venture, make sure you leave some information about yourself, and I'll be personally getting back to you. So make sure you leave those comments and get back with me. Until next time, travel with me.